she was going to be, you knew I wasn't going to be capable. So instead of putting me into a halfway house, which was the thing at the time, oh, let's just have your mother be the internal parent by just putting up her ego, and then get it stuck to her head by the time I'm in my mid-20s for to have full control over me. Brilliant. God, I should have never gone to SAU 12 in the London School District. Should have never been there. Should have never been there. Between the teachers having the hots over my mother, having a woman crush, these goddamn fucking feminist, antichrist liberals. Okay, there, I just said it. I just gave you a nice political assault on these people. Yeah, they were leftists as fuck. They were feminists. They were married to men, but I think they were just misandrous anyways. They were, they put my mother on the pedestal, and then guess what? Her legacy. And I just said the reason why she hadn't gone out was because she was afraid something would happen to her. So she's, stayed home. Okay, I get that to a certain point. But, part of me wants my mother to bury me. But I fear I'm going to have to bury my mother. Probably sooner rather than later. But nobody understands what I go through. Nobody understands the pain I have to deal with. Nobody understands how my childhood was corrupted. Nobody understands, I don't even talk to my mother about a lot of stuff because she'll just kind of rationalize, kind of project different perspectives because God forbid I have a stubborn view of things. God, I can be questioned and challenged, but everyone else, I gotta obey and respect. Yeah, this is a banana republic in New Hampshire. And I can't say that because I would be a conspiracy theorist, dude. I gotta get my glasses and I go my incognito and be like the free staters and the First Amendment auditor types. Yeah, I have deep animosity to these people. These people are evil. All my teachers, I had no contact. When I left Londonderry in 2010, I was never to go back there again. And I think the point was that I think it would be near the end. I mean, I was like 22, so I left there 10 years prior to that. I think I've kind of overstayed my visitation with the people that were really not the best people in retrospect, right? Started to figure that out. Once you get out of this narcissistic abuse, you start to really open up, who were the toxic people. And South School was toxic as fuck. Apparently, there's a lot of granite in the school, by the school, because when they were building, they were replacing the portables with actual physical building materials in 2008 to 2009. The project got delayed because they didn't realize there was so much granite ledge in the where the portables sat on. Because really, when you think is because I think the portables were installed in 86, and so South School was really just 2 wings for the younger grades and the older grades, and then the library, media, and the offices all connected in the middle of the building, which is not what it is anymore. It's all changed. My 4th grade classroom, where a lot of my friends on my Facebook that I blocked, that's the administrative office now. It's changed significantly after the reconstruction because now the building's kind of like a big square. The hallway goes through when you look at the floor plan. But I don't want to reminisce those histories anymore. Again, it was really, and this is a really cautionary tale of all this inclusion, this mainstreaming, all this shit that the Parent Information Center likes to propagate. We made all this progress. My ass. And I'm very lonely on this Valentine's Day, and I'm not disgusted by Valentine's because I believe that people should be in a relationship. I don't like everyone being single. I don't like everyone who is a misandrist or a misogynist. I don't like this kind of stuff because, God forbid, if Steven was single 10 years ago and was complaining negatively about women, they would be scared that I would go on the MGTOW path or take the red pill. But I didn't. But guess who, I think women are taking certain pills. It's like in New Hampshire, in this freaking state of New Hampshire. There are more women that either taken or they're completely single, and they're just pumping up that guy. I just want to tear down the patriarchy, and they're probably center right or center left, but not leftist. But is there a case against conservative feminism? I just like to ask the questions that no one else is bothering to ask. Just saying. And yep, and it's we're all hurting, and we're not doing anything to help people. And I'm I don't know anymore. I used to thought I guess I thought I knew what I wanted in life, and then I realized maybe I don't know what the hell I want in my life. Um I just feel so empty inside, and the recommendations to get out, but then your mother doesn't feel like doing this. I don't feel like doing this. I don't like doing this. So then someone else has to take the burden in my life. And I don't have that many support people. I'm still not in a program, still not in any of that stuff. But it's hard to find good people and to pay them well because there's limitations in your state that no one else is talking about. The PBS NewsHour has talked more about DSP shortage than our local media has ever covered this issue at all. Only if it's the same day issue. Only when it comes to a decision. Adam Sexton is a fucking hack, if you ask me. I have no respect for Channel 9. They're throwing, they were lucky because the primary had just ended, and a few weeks later they got their ratings gold by covering fucking Harmony Montgomery. Fucking Harmony Montgomery, a fucking 5-year-old child that went missing and was found murdered, and it was a dual state issue on the youth and families case, because there was a case on that. It's a systemic failure. The murder is just a murder. Yes, no father or stepfather, whatever, should. I don't even know the whole story. Harmony Montgomery, because I freaking don't care. Because when you start giving this little blonde, blue-eyed girl the attention, then you forget everybody else. And it's not just children, it's not just the elderly, it's not just people like me with disabled. There's many other things that people get screwed over. The government. When the state of New Hampshire fails, there should be accountability by the public. Not from within, not to have like an internal affairs audit. It should be, the media should be pressing for answers. No, the media has been pressing answers for Adam Montgomery because he's the alleged killer. And I swear to God that Amy Covino, that little bitch who blocked the mini fake news guy. I think MNG talked about that earlier. In the summer, Covino's just gonna just gosh over this and smash this guy to pieces, much like how she declared Alexandra Eckersley guilty for abandoning her newborn. This was in late 2022. She was drugged up, in a strange relationship with a father who just left Nesson just a few months before with the Red Sox, going back to California, and his daughter's just abandoned in Manchester for whatever reason. And what did Amy Covino do? She completely made Alexandra Eckersley guilty as hell. And let's just pick and choose our biases and pick and choose who's guilty. That's the media's job apparently in New Hampshire. You wonder why I hate this state? I hate this fucking state because we don't even believe in America. You just want New Hampshire to be just separated. I think a lot of people here would want this, and then you wouldn't have a TV station because the FCC wouldn't be, who would be regulating the airwaves for these stations if New Hampshire was to separate. This state is so fucking amateur. It's so fucking disgusting. And I lived this in my fucking my childhood, and I fucking can't believe how evil these people are. Amy Covino is evil, okay? Adam Sexton is evil. They just sit there and just suck the cock of the system and get fucked that way. I mean, it's disgusting. It's propaganda. What are we gonna say that this is fucking propaganda? I don't fucking care about Harmony Montgomery. Fuck the little child. I don't fucking care. Screw Harmony Montgomery. Full stop. Because the media is misprioritizing the perps. It's not just this guy that killed his daughter. It's a system that enabled it. Both states, they failed miserably. And what does Amy Covino do? Hey, go prostitution to the prosecution. She's just like Kimberly Guilfoyle. Newsom. I had the hots for Donald Jr.'s girlfriend. Wait, she was married to Gavin Newsom. Yes, and I remember Vinny Not So Cosmopolitan. Point for the prosecution. You thought he was a gray-haired dude. He was a gray-hair when he was Kimba's left-hand man on what was it, Both Sides, which was so fucking hilarious. Their block, was it 1 to 3 Eastern? It's just day part. It's like Power Lunch and Morning Call and all that. It's kind of the same theme on the old court TV. He had opening arguments with Fred Gaines. He's still alive. He's probably up there in age. Then Gloria Allred's little girl on Midday. I forget the show title. It was just the name of the day part. It wasn't like anything that was really Both Sides. But that's what Covino is. She's like, for the prosecution, I get it. Just for the weekly so here. Prosecution, bitches. But you know what? With this kind of shit that Channel 9 has done in all these years, my father, Tony, would have been on News 9 if they weren't so fucking distracted with freaking Pamela Smart. Because they were tough on crime back in those days, and they would have put, I think they did. I was too young watching Channel 9. We didn't get Channel 9 on the rabbit ears really clear because we were trying to get the signals from Boston, more stations, right? But yeah, my father was arrested in London for not paying for child support. He got arrested. He didn't tell his sister to bail him out. Jeez, what a family of open and honesty. Forget being blunt and telling how you really feel. At least tell your adult sister what you did. And talk about accountability. God, this is my family. You know what? I hate my father too. I hate him so much. He's the reason why I hate men. Once I found that little nugget of information, he was arrested in 91 for not making child support. I'm like, where was WMER? Where was Jack Heath? Where was the newsroom? Where were they? Why didn't my father not? It's public information. It's a public safety problem. Talk about my father fucking me over financially. See, when someone fucks you over in the figurative sense, That's news. If someone rapes somebody, that's not news. Okay, you want me to be the Jerry Nachman of media? I'll tell you, do your fucking job. Screw, you need to go back to Colorado State because you clearly don't know how to do journalism. And Adam Sexton, you gotta break up with your wifey, or your wifey's gotta break up with the system, because with her being in the advocacy world for SA and DV people, you can't be doing that while you're a journalist. I mean, the idea that the FCC just that was the other thing too. Channel 9 had their FCC license was supposed to expire on April Fool's Day, and for whatever reason, the FCC did not update their information until, God, what was it? October, that their FCC license was then officially renewed. The people there just sucked the cocks of the bird, Hearst, right? The bird. I nicknamed them the bird. And they cocksuck these people, and they don't care about the fucking viewers. They're just in the Hearst clique, and then they publish it on social media with the PDA with the corporate whores. I'm screwed over here, Men are screwed over in New Hampshire, and nobody gives a flying shit, live free and kill yourself. Literally. You know what? If you want to kill yourself, go ahead. I can't be responsible for people making their own responsible decisions. I'm pro-choice all the way. If you're going to be pro-choice, you're going to be pro-choice from conception to death, whatever. If you want to live, you have every right to. My grandma wanted to live and she died. So, I know that pro-choice is a very made-up word for me, but that's how I believe. That's the ethos of my freaking life. And it's really disgusting how this system works. I find it just extremely just unforgivable. So how do you meet new people? I haven't really talked about love and relationships. I just talked about how I feel so discredited as an individual. And again, that's a news story too. Why does a clinical psychologist who knew everything about autism she lived in Massachusetts for her entire life. She was licensed in the state of New Hampshire in 1984, had been a licensed psychologist for almost 3 decades, that never paid taxes in the state. There's also on the New Hampshire Council on Autism, which was appointed by our governor, who never lived in New Hampshire, lived in snotty fucking Westford, Massachusetts. Okay, I know who's a Middlesex offender county, I just said Middlesex offender county, yes, because that's what Middlesex County is. It's all the elite creeps. And you don't hear that on the media, not even the Boston media, just saying, that's all. As Dana Tyler's ex-boyfriend would sing. And I would have to hear that in WZID so many times. God. Good God. And and you put this elitist bitch talking about what not to do, which is exactly what we need more of, what not to do. So then you're just freaking a zombie, and she's figuratively screwing her clients over. You don't think that's on the story? No, it's always about sex. It's always about intercourse, blowjobs, anal, vaginal, whatever. It's never about fucking somebody over, exploiting someone's money, public finances that's coming from the town and the school to pay the subcon, because that's what she was. She was a subcon. A lot of conflict of interest. Never did I know her had actually learned things. But part of your mental health license is you're supposed to keep your. Yeah, now this is going to become the episode of why I love licensing when it's done right. But, licensing, part of keeping your license is to keep going on and going to education, not to preach. But PhD people, they're scholars, they're students, and then student/researcher types. And That person had no ethics. That person, because I knew that individual for 18 years, had an ethics of a snake. But of course, we don't want to libel or defame people. But we'll defame that guy that can't fight for himself. That's okay. And that's what I feel like in this fucking state I lived in for my entire life. I feel like shit. Unless I had tits and a cunt, then, then I could be taken seriously. I mean, how sexist is that? I mean, Kelly, are we sure she's a woman? She doesn't look like she's got tits, and I think she has a cunt, but how do I know she's got a pair down there? How do I know she doesn't have a dick? And she comes off as a cunt, or maybe she's a dick. I have no respect for Kelly, which you know already. I don't need to talk about her on this episode, but I guess this is becoming the hateful hour of my corrupted childhood. How much hatred that was taught to me, that I become a bitter person. Oh, and then it's my fault for not adjusting and all that good stuff. It's like I can never seem to win. I'm just a freaking little bastard child. That's how I feel. I just feel like a freaking bastard child. I feel like I should have never been born. And but I like to talk about something that's also in my worldview of love is a privilege, not a right. Love should never be entitled. No one should ever be expected to love. They should earn it. If the child is a freaking little brat, they don't deserve any love from their parents. And if they mess up, that's on them. But I believe it should be earned and not be given to. Because unconditional love is equated with entitlement, if you ask me. And that's where I am in my life. I don't believe people should be loved. They should be earned that love, as if they're a piece of shit, like a rundown piece of crap. We should embrace those people with the so-called extra mileage. I'm talking to you, Myron, you real faggot. And we don't give people that deserve love a chance. We love the people that shouldn't be loved. And that's why I believe love should be earned and shouldn't be given. You should earn it. You should prove that you be loved. That's how I view love. It's a privilege. With the 50% plus divorce rate in this country, it seems like love is commodified. Love has been democratized, and I think it should only elite people should love. Full stop. And I hate people. Do I like being this bitter? No, but that's just who I am. I try every day to try to find love, but you know what? Then people hate me. On my other platforms, people hate me. I know people hate me on 312. I mean, hell, I was doxxed. Hell, people hated me from the museum people telepathy. This is why I don't share my passions anymore. And then I get all these creepy old men that don't have relationships either because I think they treat women like they're dolls. They're incels. I bet you. Oh, there's a few weirdos from TMOT that I think are incels. Like they choose to hate women. God, that's why I shut down the Museum of Telephony, because I was like, God, you people are weird. You guys are evil. Not only that, you're spreading a right-wing misogyny, God, there's this one weirdo that was following me, and on his personal Facebook, which I shouldn't be using but it was like, he posted this a photo on his cover of, "It's great to be straight." It's a graphic, that is. It was great to be straight. Because it's been done for thousands of years, heterosexual procreation shit. It's like, it's very incel. And I'm wondering if people were just doing it because they were exploiting me, and they were exploiting me through likes and follows, which is the reason why I pulled the plug on it. Not to mention I had imposter syndrome. Not to mention that people weren't taking me seriously in the higher ups. Just same thing with the NEB circles and just with the news circles. So I'm just not enough. Not enough. And meanwhile, you have Canadian feminists that hate men. Oh, I'm sorry, they do love men as a cover. Just raping our resources. And I'm like, how come this? I'm talking to you, Liz Blank. Yeah, you evil feminist. And then you got this British boy, that fucking Chris Williams. And God, it's like, how the fuck are these people raping our country and raping our resources? I mean, it is rape. It is stuff. That is stuff. Not taxation, but just people who are here illegally and just taking advantage. It's like, fuck you. Go in the line. Go like what what ancestors used to do on Ellis Island. Go in the line if you want to rape our country. God, I just hate these people. These people are scum. They're evil. There's something evil with these people. And why are they getting a voice while I'm a fucking New Hampshire for the last 36 fucking years now? Where am I in my life? Oh, it's your choices, Steven. You gotta make your choices better. Really? Excuse me, where I find the 120 volt cable and just put the paper clip on the hot pair. I posted that on Instagram. On the Museum of Telepathy's Instagram, and I had people unfollow me. That's like, wow, talk about some really evil people. It's like, I don't like why I created this worst community. Like, I feel so guilty creating this community because I just let the extremists and all about us come together. All of these people care about is a VIA PBX systems made after 2010. God, VIA's dead. You supported the cunt law. That's their problem. That's your problem. You still supporting that freaking company. I kind of gave the finger to Avaya like in 2010 when they bought Nortel. Sorry, I had an Alfred de Blasio moment for a minute, but I called it Hortel from the start. But yeah, it's like I just created this weird community, and I just like don't even care anymore. It's like, and I don't really care. I don't care if I lost followers. I don't even care. It's like, let it burn. Not to mention, my photos were used all over the interwebs without consent. Without consent, okay? That is rape too. Okay? Just sticking to the facts here. This was supposed to be a relationships and love episode, and it just turned out to be just me blabbering about, how it was corrupt. I mean, these millennials just like I was looking through the Valentine's Day stuff because there's gonna be more videos to be posted on Stevo's 312 on YouTube. Me destroying my childhood because there's a few more things that I was purging from starting with 2021. Most of it was destroyed, but I just brought it back to the storage unit last Saturday to be exact. And, yeah, I'm just